Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my partner in crime, my esteemed colleague. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Aric DiLalla.
Phil, you that guy from the radio, huh?
I think you're that guy for the radio.
No, you that guy. Oh, my gosh. What are we
Crossover.
Is this live?
Crossover week.
Send it to the traffic center.
Yeah, Dave Copeland.
Darren Copeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the pod,
Let's
yeah.
send it down to Ben Swanson with weather in
Ooh.
Orlando.
The text line over at KOA, get a lot of Neutral Zone love over there.
Yep.
Appreciate that. NZ Nation, everywhere.
It's showing up and it's showing out.
Yeah. Of course, Broncos Country tonight over at our partner station, KOA, 8:50 a.m., 94.1 FM.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Send Benjamin Albright down to the Senior Bowl. And so
As punishment.
we've done some filling in, Eric. You did a couple nights. I've done a couple nights, and
Ooh, well, as a recording, Phil, you've only done one
I got
night.
one more night to go. Got one more night to go. So, and we're doing that with our friend Nick Ferguson.
If you are an avid listener of the Neutral Zone and say you're getting off work tonight, maybe around 6 p.m. Mountain Time,
yeah.
what do? You listen to you on Broncos Country tonight?
Both.
At the same time?
Yeah, both at the same time.
Wow.
Maybe on your phone, you got the podcast going, and on the radio, you got.
Ooh, what you could do is, because there's commercial breaks
Yeah.
on KOA. There's not commercial
Do a
breaks in the
2X.
Neutral Zone. You listen to the first
The radio.
20 minutes. Then when it goes to commercial, you play the Neutral Zone on maybe 1.5 speed.
Maybe 1.5. Okay.
And then goes back to
go back and
to
forth.
you. Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, that's really the only way you would really want to do it.
That could be awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun doing that. You enjoy doing it?
Yeah, I like the it's kind of a rush with live radio, you know?
Oh, yeah. When they're just like, go, you're like, ah.
Yeah. They start playing that little theme song in your
Yeah.
ear.
We need to.
Yeah, where's our producer?
Constant music.
What's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, that was. That
we
was fun.
certainly have no
Yeah.
heart out here. We just talk.
That's true. We just do whatever.
Do whatever.
Really, whatever we want.
No, I think it's fun.
Oh,
I
nice.
think can't cut anything out, so you got to be
That's
a little
true.
more
It's
careful.
out there. Yeah. And of course, this is heavily edited.
Yeah.
If you think what goes out there is bad, wait until you see what's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah. Certainly can't read any YouTube commenters' names live on KOA.
The text line, though.
That's right.
Yeah,
But they
the
don't have
text line,
names.
You could go crazy. Yeah, I just was reading the last four numbers of their.
You're just
of
giving
their
people. You're like,
phone
here's this
number.
guy's social.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, please send in your social.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I enjoyed doing it. Believe it or not, Eric, the technology is in place that this studio where we're recording this could tap into the KOA
mainframe?
studio, and it could just we could just synergize.
Wow.
Yeah, it could be nice.
I think the next step, Phil,
Someday.
as much as we love Nick Ferguson, is for you and I to be together on,
Yeah, of course. We'll
on
take
live
over.
radio.
Yeah, we'll take
How
over.
do we get that to happen?
Yeah, that's true. Drive time? Oh, man.
Yeah.
You'd have watch out. The ratings would just be like, what's happening?
Coming up next.
Yeah.
Who's got the best hair in the locker room?
Yeah.
You
That'd
won't
be-
want to miss it.
That'd be a sponsored segment for sure.
Yeah, that's
Too easy.
like Great Clips or something.
Yeah. Not a sponsor of this show right now, but,
No, but it could
future
be, but the
sponsor of
future
our
Drive Time
radio
show, for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of hair product.
Lots.
A lot of
Oh,
hair
my
product
gosh.
conversation. So could be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been fun.
We're starting to take over
I
the
enjoy
world.
it. Yeah. 1 hour of radio at a time.
Slow but steady, I think.
Yeah. That's really the slow, the tortoise and the hare, you know.
The hair.
Hair. Yeah, but you don't want to be a hair in that
Well,
situation.
in this case, I think you always do.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, 2 big events going on this week, really. Okay? One is a Senior Bowl.
Oh,
We're going to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
The other's the Pro Bowl.
Oh.
A couple bowls this week.
I thought you were talking about my dryer getting delivered.
Oh, I know. That's been the big drama in the office.
Big drama.
Big drama.
A lot of washing, no drying.
When you order something big like that, it never just works exactly the way you think it's going to.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's
been a
never
little
just
bit
like
of a-
done.
It's been hectic.
Yeah.
It's been a problem.
back and forth.
That dryer
Yeah.
a problem.
And today we're getting a rarely seen QZ here on the show.
That's right.
A
This is
13
actually supposed
flag?
to be white. It's just I've worn it a lot. I don't have a dryer.
A little bit of overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some red socks maybe or something. And
Yep,
you
boom,
whoop,
new
a little
QZ.
whoopsie.
New QZ.
Yeah, yeah. What golf course is that?
Why do you think it's a golf course?
Well, it looks like a flag. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. So
This is
13.
so this is from Bandon Preserve.
Oh,
A little par 3 course.
Yeah, over there in Oregon.
Over in Oregon.
My wife's from Oregon.
Our wives are from there.
I was going to say, I think yours is too. Yeah.
So nice little place. Good
Yeah, that
spot.
is a nice place.
Yeah.
Beautiful, right along
I like a nice little par 3 course.
the ocean. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just
It's nice. It's more fun, I think.
scenic, tranquil.
When you do the par 3, you only take. Are you one of those guys who takes like 3 clubs with them, or
take a
do you
couple
take
of
your whole
clubs.
bag?
No, just a couple of clubs. At this
Nice and relaxed.
lovely establishment, we played early in the morning. There was some nice fog, a little bit of. We were the only ones out there. They have a couple of little carry bags, so you just take 2 or 3 clubs. You feel like you're.
You're missing something.
Yeah,
Like you
what,
left something behind.
Francis we met. You feel like you're him, you know?
Oh, got it.
You know who that is?
No, I don't know what you're talking about,
he
but
is-
I was just gonna go with it.
He was the first amateur to win the U.S. Open.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
The Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. I still don't know what you're talking about, but
You don't know who Shia LaBeouf is?
I know that
The
actor.
Transformers?
Yeah.
The Holes.
Yes, I know that guy.
He played Francis we met
Oh, really?
in the greatest game ever played.
Oh. But We Met is his last name?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were sort of saying like that was like some sort of a title of something.
Ouimet.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
UI.
M-E-T.
M-E-T.
We met.
We met. Yeah.
French, I believe.
Oh, we met. Huh?
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
you feel a little bit like Francis we met out there, a little carry bag. Nobody out there, quiet, peaceful.
It was nice.
Lovely.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
And then I come back and I watch them just slam their helmets into each other.
And that's a 9-hole par 3 or
13.
13? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of an odd number, but
Yeah,
it's
makes
nice.
it sort of unique.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah. Would you do their 100? 90?
Yeah, on the front.
Yeah, what's making the turn there? It's 7?
Yeah, 7.5, I think.
Yeah, your second shot
Six
on
and a half,
7.
right? Yeah.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little stand right kind of halfway through that one.
Right through the middle of that one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, nice.
Get a hot dog?
Yeah.
A glizzy, I think they call it these
Oh,
days.
the kids do, yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend Ike.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down at the Pro Bowl.
Oh,
You
is the
send
Pro Bowl
him. You
going
send
on?
him to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, Pro Bowl Ike.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
miss it.
For people who are unfamiliar with how this works, they pick the best players in the NFL to go to the Pro Bowl, and then they pick the best people from the media staffs of every team. It's sort of an honor to get selected to
Ike
go
was
cover.
a starter.
Yeah, he was a starter.
Swanson was the 17th alternate, I think.
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, the
And then
photo
he got to go.
lenses were just damaged.
He got to go. Yeah.
Someone lost their camera bag, didn't have a memory card, so they were like, gosh. They actually asked our other team photographer, Gabe, first, and he couldn't go.
He didn't. Yeah,
He's shooting
he turned it
X
down.
Games.
Yeah.
And
So Swanson,
so
is
Swanson got to go.
That's why Swanson's not here.
right.
He thought, yeah. And then also Nikki P
Yeah.
from our
First,
social team.
also a starter.
Yeah, starter. So.
Phil, I think I saw Shireen Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Friend of the show.
Yeah. Pro
She-
Football Talk.
Yeah. She did a tweet that was like, why are there 106 Pro Bowlers? Like, there's no
Oh, you think
reason.
there's
no
too many Pro
reason.
Bowlers, huh?
Because you've got all these Pro Bowlers, and then a bunch of them drop out, and now you've got
And they
like
keep
20
getting
alternates.
considered Pro Bowlers.
And if you drop out, you still get to be a Pro Bowler. But if you're an
Bowler.
alternate and you make it in, you get to be a Pro Bowler.
Bowler.
Pretty soon it gets a little ridiculous.
It is. I mean,
But
it's a hard deal, I think, the Pro Bowl, because at the end of someone's career,
yeah,
when you are discussing about, their legacy and everything, you mention how many Pro Bowls they had. But it feels like
in the moment,
it's a little diminished, a little. The honor.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, certainly back in 2016, that was one of those years where like every quarterback was hurt.
I think Trevor Siemian was asked if he
Trevor
could go.
was invited. Well, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of silly, right? He was asked, couldn't go because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So somebody who was worse than him gets to be called a Pro Bowler.
Going, yeah.
But he is not.
Yeah.
It feels like if you're invited, you should
just get
you
it.
should get to
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just sort of an interesting deal. The NFL obviously is continuing to modify what the Pro Bowl is.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of little games now, and then the flag football.
I think like the Connect Four. Is that one
Are
of
they
them?
doing a Connect Four?
I don't know. They just announced this.
I
Crush.
love Connect Four.
Yeah. Why weren't you selected?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think that there was maybe a typo or something, and they're like, Phil Milano, who's that? And then I didn't get the votes.
Yeah, the Vikings
On all the
entered your
ballots.
name.
Yeah, they entered my name, and then there was a little confusion there.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah.
I, of course, I had a list of demands of how many quarter zips I needed. And they were
They
not
could not
willing.
meet that.
They were not willing
They
to
could not
meet
meet
that
that.
demand. So I
Yeah.
said I can't go.
It was surprising, though, considering the amount of golf courses in the Orlando area.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I figured you would have been all over that, but they couldn't meet.
Well, apparently Peter Millar doesn't make an AFC quarter zip.
Oh, only
And
NFC.
that-
huh?
yeah, that was a
problem.
that was a deal breaker.
That was a big problem. Wow. Yeah, they're doing what? Tug of war and dodgeball and fastest man competitions and stuff down there. Really, the only thing that I ever cared about was the quarterback challenge.
The precision thing.
There was a video circulating the other day of Dan Marino just launching it 60 yards down the field, hit the bullseye.
Whoa.
That's when cues were really cues, you know? Back then.
true.
Yeah, that's back then.
Groovin
That's
was
when-
groovin'.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. Those are awesome. I don't know why they don't just do that. I would watch that. I could watch that for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think Ike's doing a Fortnite challenge or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the gamers are all over the NFL sidelines now during pregame.
Yeah.
What's that guy? Who is the guy in the 49ers?
I don't know.
Big gamer?
Tiesto?
No. Tiesto's doing the in-game DJ for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Bronco fan.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's been at the facility before.
Mr. Tiesto.
Yeah, I got a picture with him.
Oh, yeah?
It's very cool, Eric. I know that you prefer maybe somebody singing about a dusty old road, down by the lake.
I'll just, can we just get George Strait to maybe
What
play
would he do during a Super Bowl game?
play some live music?
Oh, like it's a timeout.
That's what
right before
Tiesto's
halftime.
doing.
Yeah, and then they're just like, ladies and gentlemen, George Strait.
Yeah.
And he'll be in the corner somewhere there at Allegiant, and
He's
they'll
got a
just
bar
start playing.
stool and he's got an acoustic guitar and
That's
he's
all he
just
needs.
singing.
That's just all. You would
Yeah.
prefer that.
Heck yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I do appreciate that there's a little bit of a Las Vegas-y tie-in. I feel like you should honor the area where the game's taking place.
That's true.
That's what I think. I was told that Usher is doing a little stay there in
He's
Las
doing a what?
Vegas.
Like a residency?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's true, but I was told that.
Well, if you were told that, it doesn't have to be true. Just say
Exactly. I'm not saying it.
it. Someone told you
Someone
that.
else is saying
Yeah.
it. And then the other thing is the Senior Bowl, So there's just two
we send
things
our
going
best
on.
elderly employees.
We send the
down
best
there.
seniors.
Yeah, you
Have
were
not heard
invited to
from
that.
a-
You
have
were
not
invited to
heard
that too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Whenever I see the Senior Bowl, I have a little bit of flashbacks to our week there when Vance Joseph's staff coached that. Remember when Baker Mayfield left on helicopter at halftime?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Remember Mardi Gras was going on and we were trying to figure out how to cross the road
Yeah.
just to get a nice bite to eat.
Yeah.
They were like, sorry, this will be
tough.
done in 6 days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it was really incredible. I was like, where's Baker going? And he just got onto a helicopter and flew away.
Yeah. Which much later, I think it was revealed that his mom was dealing with some health issues,
yeah.
right? And that's why
But it was very cool. I'll say that.
It was
I was
cool.
just like, this guy is awesome.
he was a rock star.
Yeah.
He did a scrum that week.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think maybe with Jim Nagy, he runs it.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying that was like the
biggest
scrum they'd ever seen for a guy
Yeah.
in the Senior Bowl. And I was right in the middle, and I
You were
think
right
I
in
asked
the
a question.
You got a question, didn't you? Of course you did.
I'm that guy.
Yeah. You're Aric DiLalla.
I was young back then.
You're like Aric DiLalla, neutral zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you hit him with you blasted him, right? I think you blasted him.
Yeah, I was like, you're kind of short, huh?
And then what do you say?
And then he
punched you. I think he punched you, right?
He growled.
Yeah. Well, he probably earned himself a nice paycheck by the way he played this year.
Yeah. I like Baker.
He's going to be free agent, so we'll have to see.
Maybe,
Who knows? Maybe you could be asking him some more questions.
Ooh, full circle.
Every Wednesday. Who knows?
Yeah.
Really, anything is possible.
Sometimes Tuesdays. Maybe Thursday.
Yeah, if they play on Monday night, maybe a Thursday. It could be nice.
Those are the options.
Yeah. Aric, of course, the neutral zone. People are free to ask us any questions they want to.
Oh, yeah?
You don't have to wait in a media scrum or battle anybody. You could just log on and fire away your questions. How do you do that?
So there's a lot of ways, really. You could call in and leave a voicemail at 707-NEUTRAL. You could leave an email at neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. You could tweet at us directly on x.com, at Aric DiLalla with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH. Both of which, Phil, I'd be tempted to say they're non-traditional spellings.
Those are non-traditional spellings.
And Phil, the last way, probably the best way, so I'm surprised we didn't say it first. You head on down to the Denver Broncos official YouTube page.
Yeah. There's a lot of unofficial ones. They're trying to be us, but they ain't us.
What's that? That the Californians on SNL. He's like, you take the 405 to the
yeah. El Clemente Boulevard. What are you doing here?
You take that down to the Broncos official YouTube page, and you find the neutral zone. Of course, don't click on anything else.
No. Are there other things?
No. It's kind of like a test. They're just dead links.
Yeah. It's a minesweeper.
Exactly. And then you scroll down to the comment page after you smash that subscribe button. It changed. And we'll read your comments right here on the air.
Right now. Our friend Robbie Patzer.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Also commented on KOA while I was
thanks,
on.
Robbie.
Yeah, it was nice. Where's my bro Swanson? Where's that dude? Bruh. Of course, he's at the Pro Bowl. But we have been missing him. I'm not sure what his deal has been.
That's a good. He's had an attitude recently.
Yeah, insubordinate, really, is what I would say.
Conduct detrimental to the podcast.
I don't like to make things like about me. Do you know what I mean? That's not.
Yeah, I've never known you to do that. That's not really you.
I'm just. I'm here to listen.
And learn.
Mostly and learn,
love,
and appreciate and love. Yeah, exactly. But my off-season beard has really got the commenters going.
Oh yeah,
I trimmed it down.
I know
this week. Yeah, I trimmed it down.
You kind of gave up.
Kept it tight. Well, I was reading some of these comments, and I was like, I took some of the advice.
Oh, okay.
So, Cindy H303, I love the off-season beard experiment. Is your wife supportive? That's the important question. Excited to follow the progress. Aric, what are you doing?
Cindy, don't do me like that.
Yeah, I'd say my wife is like, she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's supportive, Dominic Cavazos, if the Avalanche make the playoffs, okay, they're going to make the playoffs. They got Nate Dogg. He's going to win the MVP.
Woof.
He's killing it this year.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got 2 4-goal games. You were there, Aric, weren't you? You threw something out on the ice.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He says if the Avalanche make the playoffs, Phil has to. You all right?
I got to get that back.
Yeah. He says that Phil has to grow his beard, a playoff beard.
Okay.
It's a tradition, obviously, in hockey. Hold on a second. There's one I got to get back to. Hold on a second. Hold on. There's more beard talk here. Wait 1 second. Tell it like it is. Don't give up on the beard, Bronco bro. Keep it short. Let it grow for 2 more weeks. Trim it back down to about a 1/4 inch and keep it that way. Very specific. Very specific, okay?
Yeah.
So I was like, I think that I needed to sort of trim it down a little bit. So that's what I did.
Okay.
I followed this commenter's advice.
Don't they say, like, if you trim it back down, then it'll grow back stronger than before?
Yeah. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or not, but that's what they say. Like, if you shave your chest, then it's like, watch out.
You do that daily, so you don't really know.
It just comes.
9 a.m. clean shaven.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, oh my
I
gosh.
swim. Yeah, I come in, I shave and swim, and then by the time we record, it's
Back.
it's like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus.
Exactly.
It's almost
Just
exactly
with
like
the chest hair.
Micmac sauce.
Oh.
Micmac sauce. Phil, don't give up on the beard. Just give it time. You just got to give it some time. Let it do its thing. And then Sean Over says, all great beards have stubble beginnings.
True.
Don't give up, Phil. So I feel like the beard community is very strong, Eric. I don't know if you picked up on that. So we'll see how it goes.
They're dialed in.
We'll see how it goes. Jay Presbronk, the only other question to get to here is not including water. Not including water. If you could have only one other beverage for the rest of your life, what would it be? Not including water. So you can get water, but other than that, there's only one thing you could drink the rest of your life. What would it be?
I'm tempted to say bourbon, but
I think there's only two options for me. One is coffee and one is bourbon.
Yeah. I think it has to be coffee, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't, well, is espresso, would you, that's kind of the same category? Yeah. Because when I now don't have just that jolt of sunshine
You need a little
in the
something.
morning, it's tough to get through the day.
Dreary.
Yeah. Especially
You
when
could
you
just
deal
wake
with
up and have a bourbon.
Deal with Ben Swanson. That's true. You deal with Ben Swanson all day.
Yeah,
So
that's
I guess,
true.
do you think in this scenario I could eat like energy chews or something? Or could I just eat espresso beans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably. I think so. That would not be a beverage.
Okay. Then bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah. I think it would be bourbon, I think.
Yeah.
But that would be a tough life. Those are the three things I drink anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Good question, though.
The wine would be tough to.
Wine would be hard to give up, too. Yeah, wine is. It's nice with dinner.
Everything else, and there are times I don't believe you're a big soda guy,
I'm not.
but
you like
there are times when a nice Coca-Cola can hit diff, as the kids say.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like it's different coming from a fountain machine?
Oh yeah,
versus a can? Because
I
it's
think they say
definitely
it's
different.
crispier when it's from a fountain machine.
Yeah, people like a Coke from a nice fountain machine.
Yeah,
And there's like rumors that like McDonald's, it's a little different
they
too. Like
serve
that
it in
Coke
like a
is a little
nice
different.
glass
Ooh,
chalice. You're at the old soda shop.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, "What can I get you, honey?"
Yeah. And they just make it right there.
South.
Yeah. In a soda shop.
Exactly.
That's like what, a nickel?
Why so expensive?
Yeah. It's a penny maybe. Yeah.
Hey, penny,
Good old days down at the soda shop.
just hanging out.
You do a Coca-Cola float ever or only root beer?
You know, I actually am not a huge ice cream float person.
Oh.
Because I find that the carbonation and again that crispness, it goes away very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
When you have
The
a
dairy
float.
product.
Yeah. So I've never been a huge fan of that,
Float.
but I do like when the ice cream gets that kind of like crispy shell on it from the soda. That's
That is
nice.
nice. Toward the end.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, thank you for the comments. Appreciate that. Jay Prez Bronk always giving us good content, you know.
Yeah. I do have one
Yeah,
more
absolutely.
thought on dessert if you're
Oh,
interested.
yeah.
Might as well. People aren't listening to this
Whatever.
anyway.
Yeah, they're skipping ahead.
Something I've liked recently is just a nice scoop of vanilla ice cream or gelato, then a couple drops of olive oil.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've not tried that, but I've seen people who do enjoy
Yeah,
that.
do that. Have a little orange infused olive oil. That's nice.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to come over. I have to try that.
That's paisanos, you know.
Yeah, I know. Of course, we do it right.
We know how to do it.
Yeah. You ever do an affogato?
Oh, yeah, that's nice too.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of that's a float, I guess, in some way.
That I struggle sometimes. Like you're at the end of a dinner. Like, do I really need to do this? Because now I'm going to be jacked
You're gonna
up.
be awake. You're gonna be awake a little while. You stay at the table. You converse.
But in Italy, when you do
You're
a
fine,
nice
you
little, I'm
stay
lucky enough to have gone there a couple times.
Yeah.
They all do an espresso at the end of dinner.
Of course.
And then I think it one way so they can drive home. And then, but then they just go to bed. It's like their body, the nighttime
Their
espresso.
body's
don't-
diff.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They got to be up early to eat more pasta.
Yeah,
basically.
of course. It's a nice life.
Yeah.
It's a nice life. The olive oil. I'll have to try that.
Hopefully people chime in and let us know what drink they would choose.
Yeah. What's your favorite beverage?
We
Let's
know
see.
somebody who hasn't had water. Is that public knowledge or no?
That hasn't had what?
That doesn't drink water. Is that public knowledge? That might not be.
No. I'm blanking on who you...
Oh, okay. Well,
does not drink water.
Yeah.
I think you have to have water, don't you?
This person does not drink water in a long time. But I don't know if this is public information, so I don't want to bring it up.
Oh, interesting.
Sorry.
Nice
I
tease.
did, but
Nice tease there, and then it's like not...
tune into KOA.
Is it a player?
Maybe.
Or is it someone on our staff?
Maybe it's a player.
Find out
Maybe
never.
it's a player.
Find out never.
Yeah. Guess who it is.
Yeah. I thought that your body had to have water, but maybe I'm wrong. There's people who are like team H2O, you know?
Yeah.
They like drink a lot of water.
Kale juice.
I think Tom Brady's part of that. Like
Swanson needed one beverage. It'd be kale juice.
Of course, yeah. That helps the flannel, and it's all kind of goes
nice.
together. Yeah, it goes all together nice. All right, Eric. Well, let's get into our main topic here today, talking about the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Broncos have 3 guys down there: Justin Simmons, Pat Surtain II, and Marvin Mims Jr., the rookie.
Yeah. You got
kinda
one
nice.
junior, 1 second.
Yeah, what would you do?
I like the second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't want to be junior, huh?
No. Sorry to Marv,
Yeah,
but
you like the second.
I like the second.
A little more prestigious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little mystery.
Yeah, you're the second. Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have leather-bound books?
of course he does.
Does he have a mahogany bookcase?
I think you start to get that when you go down to the third.
Oh.
Then you
what would
definitely have leather.
You got to
bound
do
books.
2 to get to 3.
Yeah, you do. That's true. You can't just skip the step.
No.
What if you did that and then you're always having to answer questions about that? You're like, oh, you're the third? And you're like, yeah.
Like,
And
sounded
then
cool.
it was cool.
Yeah.
Trey.
Oh, yeah, I like the tray.
Yeah, you go, Trey. Yeah. So it kind of got us thinking, those 3 made it this year. Who's next? Who's knocking on the door, Eric? Who's going to be at the Pro Bowl in 2025?
Wow.
Way into the future.
Way into the future.
2025 sounds like a long time from now.
Long time.
Yeah. A lot of people say like January was its own year. You know,
They do say that.
Yeah. Happy New Year. It's February 1. People are saying that.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen
I saw a meme with Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
that? Yeah.
And he's like, Pooh, is it still January? And he's like, yeah, it's still January.
Yeah. Was Eeyore around? That sounds like an Eeyore too.
No, wasn't.
Oh.
No Eeyore. But there's been a return of some childhood characters. Elmo's
Elmo's
been big on
making
Twitter.
making the rounds. Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah. Elmo. He found out.
That he's seen some stuff.
Yeah. This has been a week for him.
Yeah. Phil, I think if I had to pick one guy, it would probably be our friend, your travel mate up in the hinterland of Wisconsin.
Oh, Quinn Miners.
The Belly Quinn Miners.
The Belly.
I think he has gotten a lot of recognition over the last year
Yeah.
for the way he plays, just kind of a physical, unrelenting, just kind of a fun style of offensive line play.
Yeah.
And grades out really well. I know there's a lot of arguments going on about what's a PFF,
What's a grade?
but he does well in those. And he was an alternate this year. I think he told a couple people he thought he was deserving of a Pro Bowl nod.
Yeah.
He feels like a guy to me, Phil, that you take one more step forward, maybe another year in this system, and he's a guy that should make the Pro Bowl next season.
He wants a Pro Bowl Stranad.
Yeah, he does.
He thinks he should get that, huh? I like that pick. Obviously, Quinn Miners. When you make those pancake blocks, you start to get recognized. You know, like those videos start to circle around, and like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Eric, the Pro Bowl, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a popularity type of deal. You know, where you start to get your name out there a little bit more. Most people now, maybe before they didn't know Quinn Miners, now they do. That name sort of rings a bell. The Belly, it kind of all goes into it. And if he plays like how he did last year, I don't know, you kind of disagree with that.
I think 2023 is still this year.
Yeah, and I say that's last year. We disagree on that.
That's true.
Yeah, because in my opinion, the season's over, so therefore it was last year. But you think that it's still going on for the league calendar.
Yeah, I wait till we get to the league year.
Yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
than it's last year.
Anyway, so if he played like how he did in 2023, again, he'll definitely be a Pro Bowler, I think. So we'll see him. Is it in Orlando again next year or TBD? I don't know. Yeah. I like it in Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't think it's there.
It belongs in Hawaii, if you ask me.
I think the thing with the Pro Bowl is it's always maybe a year late.
Yeah.
And you make it 1 year later than you should, and a lot of times guys get one more selection than maybe they should.
Yeah, exactly. It'll bump on the other end of it.
Right, like you hang on and why is that guy really a Pro Bowler?
Yeah.
No, probably not this year, but at
He's
that
a
point
star,
it's a
though.
career achievement award, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So Quinn, I think you're right. A guy that got his name on the radar, keep playing like that this upcoming season, and he should be a guy that gets in, I think.
A guy like there's some guys who have like that potential to me that like if they have a big year they could get right into it. A guy like that, maybe like a Javonte Williams could do something like that. I think he could be the kind of guy whose name has been like out there a little bit, just the way that he ran 3 years ago, and then last year sort of made his return. Then they say coming back from that injury it takes maybe an extra year to really get back to yourself. I could see Javonte really taking that next step and a year under his belt here after the injury, a year under his belt with Sean Payton's system. I could see him continue to grow. And then the other guy I think maybe could be in that sort of that conversation, although there's a lot of competition there, is Alex Singleton, just with the numbers that he puts up. If you just look at just the stats, Alex Singleton, in your mind, you're like, he's not a Pro Bowler. But I think that the numbers he's starting to put up every single year, leading the team in tackles, sooner or later, if he continues to play like that, I think he'll get it recognized.
Yeah, I wonder, the other guy to me that stands out, and not a big name guy necessarily, but because I think the way they select cornerbacks is a little different now, and they do a nickel position, is
Jaquan McMillan.
Jaquan McMillan, yeah. He got an All-Pro vote this year, and I think people in Denver and the teams that played against J-Mac, they recognized his skill level.
That's another spot that, like, if you have, like, 5 interceptions all of a sudden, then you're going to get in.
Right, and so I feel like his name was mentioned a little bit. He would still need to be, like you said, have a big year, but that nickel position always feels like, and same thing with an All-Pro nod, is there's always a guy that pops up there that you haven't heard of, and it's just because of those interception totals. He's got a knack for making plays, good football player. So, yeah, I wonder if Jaquan McMillan could be a sneaky guy to watch.
Yeah. It feels like at this point, PS2 is like sort of just rolling at this point. Like he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. I think maybe if he got his interception numbers a little bit higher, he'll be a perennial All-Pro kind of guy too. That's sort of what I feel like was probably holding him back this year.
Well, and I do think that like Sauce just has some sort of inherent advantage because he plays in New York. And so Pat's got to be
overcome that
a little bit better than him. Like if they're equal, it's going to go to Sauce because he's just in that market.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pat is obviously a spectacular player, should be in the Pro Bowl every year.
Yeah.
Guy that should be on an All-Pro team every year.
And I think that Mims, obviously the return capability, he could definitely be a regular at the Pro Bowl just because that speed, it's going to be there for a while, and that makes him such a dynamic player. Now, to make it as a wide receiver, that's sort of a little bit of a different deal.
Yeah, as we saw with Cortland Sutton, right? He had 10 touchdowns and didn't make it, so it's tough to get in from that at that position.
Yeah.
But
lot of good wide receivers.
Yeah. And I know they take a few, but it's
there's just a lot of
it's
players.
Crowded.
Yeah.
So
some spots much harder to make it than others.
Yeah. Like quarterbacks, same way, right? Like Josh Allen did not make the Pro Bowl.
That's crazy. But he also had some ups and downs this year.
Yeah, but he had the most touchdowns of anybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy.
He must have turned it down because he's playing in that Pebble Beach deal.
Oh, the Pro Am?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'd rather be in the wind.
I think he did that a couple of years ago when he actually did make it. He like said that he had an injury, and then I think this happened. I don't know for sure, but then he showed up.
You think so? So that's
then
fine.
He showed up playing golf.
Interesting. Yeah, the Pro Bowl, I think there's a way you can make this thing interesting, and entertaining. Certainly the flag football, I enjoyed that. I mean, I think that the flag football is like a sort of a growing sport. The popularity all around the world playing flag football is growing and growing. The Olympics are going to be introducing it. So I do think flag football, it makes it fun. We saw Jalen Ramsey blast Tyreek Hill, not supposed to do that, but I think the game can be interesting, but there's just a little bit of a difficulty there in trying to figure out what's the best way to do this week.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll keep, adjusting and trying to figure out the best way to do it. But
all leagues sort of have that issue, right? Like, how do you make the all-star thing interesting? I think that's just sort of Major League Baseball has gone through this. The NBA continues to sort of modify how they do things and introducing new ways to make it interesting. And the NFL is sort of in the same. And the
players, Phil, they want to go down there and like hang out with guys they haven't met or like hang out with their friends across the league. And it's more of a social thing for them and kind of a reward, if you will, of like, hey, you had a nice season. Come hang out with the best guys in the league down in Orlando, have a little get together. Maybe you take your family to the theme park.
You can learn some things from these guys. Like, hey, how do you take care of your body in the off season? What do you like to do here? How do you approach these different situations? Like I think about like a guy like Peyton Manning when he was going to the Pro Bowls and like meeting up with Bill Belichick and talking football. Those are sort of rare opportunities to like just be around guys like that, and you could just soak it all in.
But the game itself is somewhat secondary.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I don't think it has to be.
What do? You do the Animal Kingdom when you go down there? Or how do you do that?
I don't know. That's a nice one.
That is a nice one.
I haven't been down there since the Harry Potter opened.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably
I heard that's really cool.
I'd probably go there.
Yeah. Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
I heard the train, you like take a train to a different part.
Aranola.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's supposed to be very cool. I would be down for that.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Stop by Gringotts, pick up some coin, get some coins, some gold.
Get that coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just maybe buy a wand, come back with a wand.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
A little butter beer.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That's nice. Eric, the other thing that's going on this week is the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
A lot of talk about the quarterbacks that are down there. A chance to see guys like Michael Penix, I believe Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix. You can kind of get confused there. Penix, Bo Nix.
Yep.
Two different people. Different people. But a chance for the scouting community to be with them up close and in person, really as the draft process gets underway here. Some of these college bowl games, the East-West Shrine Bowl game, I think that's tonight, right? Thursday?
Sure.
I believe it is. Davis Webb's down there, right?
Yes, that's correct. He's the offensive coordinator for one of the teams.
Yeah, so you get a chance to see these guys, and it's an opportunity just to kick off the whole process here for the next couple of months.
Yeah, get some rumors started.
Oh, that's all fun.
This is where the blogs really they get they make their money.
They shine.
I assume they make money.
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
They aggregate.
This is some great aggregation season.
Yeah.
And it's funny how these things start because instead of like a reporter talking to a GM, it's like, hey, this media member from one market thinks this. Yeah. And then they tell a media member. Then they write
it, they type it up.
Yeah, and then they tell another media member from a different market, and then that media member tells somebody, and then before you know it, it's like people in Cincinnati are speculating about this.
Yeah.
And then, boom, one of these aggregation accounts, like NFL Rookie Watch, is like, breaking Cincinnati to trade Joe Burrow.
Yeah, exactly. It just, it kind of really starts out as like a couple of sparks, but, if the conditions are right.
They fly.
Maybe it's a little windy. It's been dry, maybe. Boom. It's a fire. Yeah, and it's spreading.
I think as a fan, it's difficult this time of year to know who to trust.
Yes.
Certainly if you're a Broncos fan and you see a tweet in all caps, it's like Broncos going to trade up, Broncos want to trade up, you get excited, right?
Of course. It's sort of like the Flash. You're like, you definitely want to be like, wait, what?
Yeah. But I think the key is if it's not from one of these top guys, a Rappaport, a Schefter, a Pelissero, Mike Kliss in our market, I take it with a grain of salt.
I think that the other thing that's interesting here, Eric, is that you say, Broncos are going to trade up and take one of the top quarterbacks. I think that the interesting thing about that is it takes two teams to make a trade happen.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Even.
You can't just be like, we've decided we're moving up. Okay, well, with who?
Yeah.
How are you going to do it? And I think that there's just it's sexy, and you want to kind of buy into that because it's exciting, But I do think that, especially with those top three picks, Eric, those are three teams that I really see. I have a hard time seeing them trade out of that spot. There's just those are teams that have a big opportunity, especially with the quarterbacks that are coming out this year. It feels like it's going to be hard to get into one of those top three.
Yeah, and maybe you don't. I would think if anybody, my initial impression at least, is if anybody trades out of one of those three spots, it'll happen draft day.
Closer,
because say who has the second pick? Washington, right?
Yeah, Chicago, Washington, New England.
So say Chicago takes Caleb Williams. Washington loves Drake May but doesn't like Jaden Daniels. Ooh. And then, New England likes Drake May but doesn't like Jaden Daniels.
They go up one spot.
Well, maybe if Washington takes your guy,
then you trade back in that moment. They're on the clock.
Yeah, now it's we don't really like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Let's move back. Now's your chance if you want Jaden Daniels. But yeah, I don't know that you're going to be able to get to one or two.
It just seems
beforehand.
Hard. Yeah.
So unless you really convince Chicago they don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, nobody really knows how Chicago's feeling, and so of course they have Justin Fields. They've got a decision that they've got to make there, but the number one pick, you're talking about a significant amount of capital to go up and get that. And, we'll be talking a lot more about the draft as the months go on here. But it feels like the Broncos back in the first round for the first time in a little while here. You hear George Payton talk a lot about how you build depth and you build through the draft this way. And, it's just going to be interesting to see how they approach this thing and really how the Broncos approach the whole offseason and what their views are on where this team is and what their goals are for next season and what feels realistic. We'll learn a lot here as time goes on.
Yeah, and the Senior Bowl is the first step, right? You mentioned the quarterbacks. Michael Pratt from Tulane's another guy who's been mentioned. Sam Hartman, Spencer Rattler, a couple other guys. So when you're watching the
quarterbacks, Eric, I think that that's for sure.
I got emotional.
Yeah,
got emotional just talking about quarterbacks.
You're talking about some Heisman finalists.
Yeah.
In Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. Saw Penix in that semifinal game really get after the Texas Longhorns a little bit. Sorry, Liz Gerald.
Tough.
But Penix was sharp that day, and I think with those guys, you're saying, okay, maybe there's some qualities here that you could continue to develop. You see the potential in them. Maybe you get them in a meeting room and get to work with them a little bit, get to know their personality, see if they got that dog in them. Oof. You want a little bit of that. What are their leadership skills like? What are they like on the sideline? How do they carry themselves? What's their body language look like? How do they sound given the play call in the huddle? What's their footwork look like? Are they accurate? All these things, you're going to have a chance to see them now as this process begins. And, all it takes is you to fall in love with that guy. And if that's your guy, then you don't need to move up.
Definitely. And you're right. The on the board stuff is super interesting, right? And I think it was Michael Penix who was asked a question this week of, hey, what are you asked in these meetings? And it was it's kind of hard to describe. But then he said that they'll say, how do you beat this coverage? And he just kind of talked through if I had a curl to this side and a crosser over here, and there's that whole element too that's really interesting to hear these guys talk through. So the quarterbacks certainly are interesting. There's some good edge rushers. Latu from UCLA is a guy that I think is impressing a lot of people. Texas has a couple of D tackles that are Liz Gerald's.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice work.
Yeah, we give and we take,
and we give,
and then we give.
And so both those guys are impressive players. There's a lot of areas, and we've talked about this, Phil. No matter where the Broncos add, they just haven't had a first-round pick in a couple of years. So you're going to add elite talent, and really, it's the start here. It continues at the combine, and then you mentioned how does this organization view the 2024 season? I think that first wave of free agency will give you a big sense in terms of what do the Broncos do with their existing guys. You know, are guys cut? Do guys restructure? Because I feel like that's when that would probably happen, just based on when you normally see that stuff. So we've talked about a lot of different guys, and people have seen the names of guys that have big cap hits. That's when you'll get a sense. How many of those guys do the Broncos bring back, and how many do they say, we're moving on here? That'll give you a sense of what's going on. You know,
and we heard Sean Payton at the end of the season say the coaching staff, they like to get away for just a touch, then they come back. They're going to evaluate all these guys, and then they have a better idea of what they got right now and then what they need to address. And so all this stuff just getting underway, Eric. And I think that it's fun, you know, just to speculate and say, what if they did this? What if they did this? What if they did that? You know, and that's sort of what makes the NFL like a year-round type of deal, you know. And this stuff is getting underway as teams like are finalizing all their coaching positions. It sounds like all the spots are secured now with DQ going over to Washington. Our old friend Adam Peters making that hire there. So now all the spots are secured, and you know the Super Bowl's coming up, and you know as one season ends, then the next begins.
It does, Phil. And this is, you know, I go back and forth between, like, just now is when I'm starting to learn who some of these prospects are, which ones, you know, could be fun to add to the Broncos. Part of you is like, man, I wish we could fast forward to
get it
April, and you know, and see what's going to happen here, because it does probably feel like 3 more months of this talk is going to get.
Oh yeah, by the time you're
tiring.
Exactly.
But that's part of the, like you said, that's why the NFL is what it is. They do a great job of keeping you roped in.
No other draft process is like the NFL's.
No, the NBA draft. I mean,
they just decided to make it 2 days, Eric. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see it. But normally it's just like, oh, it's happening. I didn't even know.
No more Taco Bell commercials for.
That's sad.
Draft picks, you know.
I feel like the MLB draft happens during the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you have no idea who any of these guys are. Well, that's because they're drafting like high school guys, and like
it's just
hard to know the prospect. When you don't know the prospects that well, it's harder to get into the draft.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because then you can't like really talk about the guys. The nice thing about the NFL and college football, like you know these guys. And they've been around, they've played a little bit. You kind of have an idea of what they are. And it's like a crossover, because there's some fans who are like huge college football fans, and they want to see where their guys are going. And then you have the NFL fans. It's a nice little crossover there.
Yeah, I got to know where the Northwestern guys are going, you know?
Yeah. Guy, maybe.
Well,
I don't know if any Buffs are.
I think Northwestern's had more first-round picks the last few years than your Buffs.
Yeah. Slater,
Greg Newsome.
I think
that's it.
Nice guys there. No Buffs, but we'll see what Shador is doing next year. I smell. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but maybe like number 1 overall.
That's it. Yeah,
so probably something like that. Maybe you just wait. Maybe you just say, hey, we'll do the Shador.
I heard someone told somebody that someone said that the Broncos want to move up.
For Shador next year?
Next
year. I heard something about that too. I was talking to somebody.
To clarify, that's a joke. So don't aggregate that.
Oh, were you reporting it?
Nope.
No, you weren't reporting it.
Just on the radio.
Yeah. All right, Eric, anything else about the Senior Bowl?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think about Bo Nix and how he played in the practice?
In the practice? It seemed like from reports he had a nice first day, not a good second day.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I don't know.
It's just so... like one day at a time of guys they've never played with.
The tape is the most important thing.
Tape.
If you watch the tape. Yeah, get them in the room, get them drawing those things up, get them talking ball, and then look at the tape.
I think the thing with Bo will be, just real quickly, how do you separate what he did at Oregon versus Auburn?
Oh yeah.
And was that just about him progressing and becoming a better football player, or was the offense did that make him better?
Yeah.
Because I think most people would agree that the Bo Nix that we saw at Auburn,
Not the same Bo Nix as.
probably not a guy that you would
Be too
trust
excited
to lead your franchise. Bo Nix you saw at Oregon,
More intriguing.
throwing a bunch of tubs, 3 picks all year. That's nice.
Yeah. And I like the other thing I like that keeps popping up, and they're like, this is a Sean Payton guy kind of guy. You know, this is a Sean Payton guy. You know, you're like,
They
well,
say
what does that mean?
Michael Pratt too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. You're like, oh, what is that? What does that mean? You know, is he? Oh, he's a good quarterback. He's a Sean Payton guy. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I do think it's going to be interesting just some of these other guys, you know, not the top 3, but how the other ones, it always feels like one of those guys all of a sudden start rising like crazy. And you're like, oh, yeah, Bo Nix, he's going to be gone like top 5. And you're like, what?
Well, I feel like Jaden Daniels kind of already did that, right?
Yeah.
And so I wonder if he's like
He's
just
that
happened.
guy for this
maybe
year?
it just happened earlier.
Already happened. How did that happen?
He won the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, and then they're like, oh, maybe this guy is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when he was at Arizona State, not good. Now, good.
Yeah. Some of it's like the team that's around you hyping you up a little bit, you know, and like talking, your agents are working it, and you're kind of just
Well, he also like
buzz. If you're buzzing?
like you play a great game against Alabama
And
on
you're
national television.
Alabama?
Yeah. Gary Danielson.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Vern pops in.
Oh, the mayor of Steamboat Springs.
Oh. Like that's going to get people's attention. When you beat Arizona, nobody really.
Okay, Arizona had a tremendous year last year.
Yeah, but
Arizona's really good.
But do you think the college football coastal elites are tuning in to Arizona State?
College football is not really coastal elite situation. It's the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, that if you
That's
play
what I
well
mean, the
against
South
those
Coast.
South teams,
The Gulf Coast.
yeah, if you play well against them, then you're going to be buzzing.
Yeah.
That afternoon game on CBS.
Oh.
If you're playing well there, oh, it just gets you going. Just gets you going.
Now we got Northwestern on that.
Yeah, Big Ten, right? Yeah,
Doesn't feel right.
the grass. It's not right. It's not how it's supposed
Like I
to
don't
be.
need to see a 3-0 game on CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although some of those SEC games are like that, right?
That's true, but those are good ones.
Yeah.
I say that as a fan of the Big Ten.
Yeah. No disrespect, of course.
No, of course. One thing that'll be interesting is, like, I like that Bo Nix and Michael Penix are down there. J.J. McCarthy is not, correct?
He is not there, no.
Sometimes you see guys not throw at the combine.
Oh, you like guys who are like, bring it on, let's go.
Yeah, and
a
I
little
wonder
competitive
if-
spirit.
Like there's probably no incentive for Caleb Williams to throw at the combine.
No.
And even Drake May and maybe even Jaden Daniels. But like if I were in I think that next group of McCarthy, Penix, Nix,
Yeah.
wouldn't we say that's kind of like tier
That's-
2?
Yeah.
Or
1B.
yeah, sure. And I would wonder, like, if Bo Nix is going to throw, does that mean Michael Penix has to throw?
Oh,
or like
yeah.
JJ
They're
McCarthy
in
has to
competition with
throw?
each other, yeah, of
But
course.
like if one of them doesn't throw, maybe the other one says, "Oh, I'm not going to throw either." It'll be interesting to watch. People
Yeah.
love their pro days too because it's receivers. You can set your own script. We got time to
That's true.
talk about that.
And a lot more goes on, it feels like, at the combine where you're like meeting with teams and your agents are there and you're sort of just.
I'm like, gosh, can I make it to Chick-fil-A and back before the next media availability?
Yeah. That's really what it's all about.
That's what the speed's about.
Yeah.
How many
That's where your
shrimp?
focus.
How fast can you eat the shrimp?
Yeah, exactly.
Getting close.
You got to get focused.
Yeah.
You got
That's
to trade
right. You
for
gotta
that
be
kind of
dialed
thing.
in.
Yeah, you got to trade for that kind of thing, you know. But, yeah, those guys, they're going to be interesting just to see how they develop. You know, like during the bowl season, it felt like Penix was for sure kind of like his stock was rising and stuff. Then he doesn't play as well in the championship game, and they're like, oh, maybe this guy isn't as good. You know, like that's all it took.
He might have been better off if they lost that semifinal.
Yeah, like he played really well but lost.
Yeah, like their defense allowed a touchdown on that last drive.
Yeah, yeah.
And people are like, man, Michael Penix did everything he possibly could. He threw for 450 yards. That guy's a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And then don't go do what you did against.
It's all the narrative.
against
That's all it
Michigan.
is. You know,
Yeah.
same player,
Same player.
but the narrative is a little bit different.
And Phil players play.
That's true. Penix sort of has that funky little 3/4 delivery.
Yeah, he's got a weird release.
Yeah, a little weird. And and also the lefty part of it, I think it makes it feel or like look like a little bit strange too. So the
But
motion
he
is
can
always
sling
a
it,
little
man.
Yeah. He can really throw that. Zip it. It pops out of his hand. I think they call that arm talent. I know Peyton Manning doesn't
doesn't.
like that. He doesn't like that. So, All right, that's our look at the Pro Bowl and Senior Bowl. Any shout-outs?
We kind of already shouted out Liz Gerald's, huh?
Yeah, that is true. We give her some love.
Yeah.
Some nice work in the community there. Shout out to KOA for having us on.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, shout out to KOA.
Dave Tepper.
We enjoyed that, yep. And
Nick Ferguson.
Trying to think about anything else going on.
I don't think so.
Anything else?
Quiet on the Western Front.
I hope Jokic's back is feeling better. You know? Anytime I see back,
I didn't know he had a
like,
back issue.
He missed the game against the Thunder. Low back pain.
Who won?
So, the Thunder won by 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Could have some tiebreaker implications at the end of the season.
Are the Thunder good?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think heading into last night, they had the same record.
Oh, but not
The
anymore.
Nuggets. Not anymore, no. Yeah, so we'll have to see. That could impact some seeding, could impact some home court advantage come playoff time, so we'll have to see. That's a long ways away.
Long ways away.
Yeah, it's a grind. You know, you got to get there.
You got to get there.
You got to stay healthy, and you got to get there. Then anything can happen.
Anything.
As we've seen that.
We've seen it.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. We'll have to see if Ben Swanson comes back.
Yeah.
He might just want to stay
my
down
breath,
there.
but
You know, if there's warm weather and he can get to like a pool, he's going to stay.
he's gonna
stay with that flannel swim attire that he likes. It's kind of a weird situation. That's going to do it for us. For Aric DiLalla, I am Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutrals.